Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now if you've seen my previous video on the Kirk Hammett LTD KH202, this is a continuation of that one. Today we're going to be looking at the Korean KH202 versus the Korean KH602. Now this is the top of the line Kirk Hammett import model, the 602. I'm pretty sure that's high as these go. The 202 is the cheapest they go, but this is a Korean one, so this is a little bit nicer than what you normally would find. And this is a 2005 Korean KH202, and this is a 2018 Korean KH602. This is the Purple Sparkle edition. There's not really a difference between this one and a regular 602, except the paint job. And these come with the signature Kirk Hammett Bone Breaker EMGs. Now some of the older 602s, they come with regular EMG 81s. Alright, let's get into it. We're going to be looking at some differences, guys, on them, and see if there's really worth the price upgrade on these. So yeah, let's just jump into it. As you can see, the body style is basically the same. Headstock shapes are basically the same, although I believe, yep, the KH202's got a sharper point. This one's more subdued on the point, which I believe this could be due to the paint, because the paint on these is super thick. Now let's look at the inlays. Okay, here we have the 202, and here's the 602. Now these are pretty much the same, except these have a more abalone look to them, so they shine in the light a lot nicer than these. These are more just gray, they don't really shine that much, but other than that, they are identical. On the 24th fret, on the 602, we have the double skulls, and on the 202, we just have the model number, KH202. In that regard, the 602 is a little nicer. Okay, now pickups. In this particular 602, we have the KH Bone Breaker EMGs. These are fantastic. I really like these. And on the Korean KH202, we have the EMG ACs. These are great pickups. They're pretty much just a passive version of the EMGs. I really like them. A lot of people don't like them, but they sound great to me. Now, I do prefer the actual active EMGs, but these are still great, though. I really haven't got any complaints about these. Now, you remember in our last video about the distance between the pickup ring and the volume control. It was pretty good on this one. About the same. So basically, the Korean 202 is the exact same layout as the Korean 602. Just like I said in the last video, guys, the Korean 202s are about dead on for Kirk Hammett specs. They're more true to Kirk Hammett's actual signature guitar. Okay, now Floyd Rose. What we got here? This one we have a Floyd Rose. This is the actual Floyd Rose. I'm not sure if this is a 1500 or an actual one. I'll have to check on that. And then we have the licensed Floyd Rose on these, which usually these are pretty crappy, but on this particular one, this one feels pretty solid. So it's actually a pretty good bridge, but obviously this one's much better. Okay, now for the switches. Have that good nice metal switch. We have a nice metal switch on this one, although on the 602 it feels much nicer, a lot smoother. But this is still a good one though. Okay guys, now for a back shot. As you see, on the KH202 the belly cut is a lot deeper than on the 602, so that's interesting. That will make this one a little bit more comfortable to play actually. Let's have a look at the neck heel. Obviously on the 202 we have a bolt-on construction. And on the 602, we have the set-in neck. Now, upper fret access on this one, amazing. On this one, it's nice too, because they have this nice little edge shaved off here. So you can get right up there on that 22nd and 24th fret, guys, no problem on these 202s. Obviously, we have a battery compartment for the active EMGs. And also, on the back plates, it's got the holes in it where you can get that screwdriver up in there. So you don't have to take this plate off to do any fine-tuning adjustments on the Floyd, which that's better than this solid back plate, because if you gotta get in there and do anything, you gotta take the whole thing off. Now up here, both of them have a nice volute, which is great. We have ESP tuners, branded LTD tuners on the 602, and we have branded ESP tuners on the 202. So now these tuners both feel the same in terms of quality to me. So I would say they're the same brand of tuners, they're just stamped with a different logo. Now for a side-by-side shot comparison. As you can see, the body's about the same, exact same thickness. The only difference on the body that I've found so far is that cutaway, that belly cut. See that? How much deeper that is? The volute appears to be about the same on this one. This one seems a little bit more rounded. But again, I believe that's just due to the paint, because the paint on these is pretty thick. Where they done that purple metallic flake. Back angle of the headstock appears to be about the same. Now neck shape on these, on the 202, it flattens out slightly about midways here. And then on the 602, it feels a little bit more rounded. But other than that, they appear to be about the same thickness. They're both slim necks. So if that's something you like, either one of these would be good for you. Another difference you can see, this string tree. The string tree on the 602 is much thicker than the string tree on the 202. Here we have the strap pins. Now I got this one secondhand used. Well, I got both these secondhand used, so I'm not sure if these are an upgrade or if these actually came on it, but these are different than those. Both are nice though. Now, as you can see, the fretboard on the 202 is slightly darker than on the 602. These are supposed to be ebony, but this is a pretty bright ebony. They really should have went with a darker ebony on these 602s. But that really would have matched the purple metallic flake paint job a lot better, I think. But it is what it is. Okay guys, what do you think? Which one you think's better? The 202 or the 602? Now these Korean 202s, they're extremely close to these 602 models. There's not very many differences at all. The main difference really is just the bolt-on neck construction, honestly. They're feel about the same actually, other than that. And obviously, you know, the belly cut's a little bit deeper on this one than on the 602. This one would hold to your body a little bit more, so might be just a tad more comfortable play, but I don't think it'd make it that big of a difference really. Both are great quality guitars, but don't sleep on these Korean 202s, guys. I'm telling you, these are great quality guitars, and they're getting harder and harder to find. So if you find one, you better pick it up. These are real nice. These are a lot closer to the Korean 602 models. Now these 602s, amazing guitars. They're spec'd out of the box. They're ready to go. Look cool, sound great. I mean, you can't go wrong. I'd highly recommend these, even if you aren't a Kirk Hammett fan. If you just like a cool guitar, it looks cool, here you go. I mean, purple metallic sparkle. I mean, that sold it right there for me. Let me know what you guys thought. Have you had any experience with either one of these guitars? Was it a good experience? Was it a bad experience? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. If you haven't checked out my first video in this series, there'll be a link here somewhere or in the description. It's a KH202 shootout. It's this guitar versus a Chinese KH202. And you'll find out there's a lot of differences between those two. As these two, there weren't many differences. Between those two, there were a lot of differences. So be sure to check that video out if you haven't already. And the next time, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. If you have any comments or suggestions for other videos you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.